So it's the complexity of the human being.
All right, a lot of open questions with respect to this case. Ron Hosko, thank you so much, Ron, for your insight.
My pleasure.
Kerry Codd is a reporter for our Miami station, WFOR. He joins us now on the phone from Parkland. So, Kerry, Senator Bill Nelson said that the shooting suspect, Nicholas Cruz, had a gas mask on, pulled the fire alarm, then used smoke grenades as students ran out. What else do we know about this suspect?
Well, at this point, it's a lot of speculation about his background, and that is certainly one of the things that investigators have told me that they are digging into at the moment. We're hearing a lot of different stories that he went here to school for a while, that he might have gotten kicked out or had some sort of issue. It's unclear exactly what that is or was. We are told by some students that, there had been rumors that he had threatened violence at the school, talked about owning guns, but again, all these things at this point, just rumor and speculation. So we don't really know very much about his background at this point. That's always the question that comes up in these situations, and obviously rightfully so. But I think it's going to take a little bit longer until we get more specifics about that.
Well, I know that you've been speaking with students and teachers. What are they telling you?
It's really the individual stories that stand out at a moment like this. Unfortunately, we've seen and heard these stories over and over again across this country. But some of the things that stand out to me were the mom who was on her knees weeping outside the school as she had just gotten off the phone with her son, who told her that he was alive and that one of his teachers had shielded him from gunfire, and that this teacher had saved his life. Mm-hmm. You hear from students who are unable to get in touch with their friends. And, of course, with cell phones nowadays and social media and texting, they're able to get in touch with their friends instantly. And so the terror and the fear that they feel, the anxiety about not being able to get in touch with someone that they care about and that they love, and the fear in the eyes of a 16 or 17-year-old who doesn't know if their best friend is alive or dead. Those are the moments that we hear over and over again. And talking to a mom whose daughter was in a classroom when shots rang out inside that classroom, her daughter was able to hide, but now there's a good friend of hers that they haven't heard from for hours, and asking me, can you please, if you hear of anything, let us know. And so it's a very difficult time to realize that these young people and, everyone who's in this community and affected by this is having to grow up quickly. And so it's really sad. And I know one of the teachers who's been here for a very long time, several decades, told me, I just don't know how we're going to come back to work and come back to school, because it just feels like such a dark cloud is over top of this place. And it's just such a scary moment for them. That's what I take away from this.
So horrific to even begin to think about what it is that these students, these teachers witnessed, experienced. Do we know what resources are being made available to help them in this particular moment of crisis?
I've spoken to a couple people from the school district, and obviously the standard response and a good response, the grief counselors, the guidance counselors are in force. I know that some of the state leadership has brought down counselors and things of that nature, people who can advise and help. And so there will be an army of those people who will be here to help these students handle what they've witnessed and what they've heard and what they know about their friends and acquaintances who are here one day and won't be the next. I know that the school here is canceled for the next few days. Obviously, this is a crime scene, and so that work needs to be done as they build a case in this particular situation. And I think that the school district goes into the type of training and mindset that so many organizations and agencies and businesses and all of us have to be prepared for in this world in which we live.
Based on your conversations and what you know about the community there, what kind of place was Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School?
This is in a relatively affluent area of Parkland. This is a very good school. It's in a great neighborhood where people feel very safe. One of the teachers told me today that teachers ask to come here. They want to be at this school because they know it has a great reputation. They feel that it's safe. And so those teachers that were telling me that were just shaking their heads saying, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And I think that's what we hear over and over again when these things happen across the country. It couldn't happen here. It couldn't happen here. And I think, this is emblematic of that. This is an example of that this is a community and a school where people probably never would have anticipated something like this happening. So it is it's a lovely place to live, and it's a lovely place to raise your children. And this is just a true tragedy.
All right, Carrie Codd, thank you so much, Carrie, for your reporting.